Hi, my guest today is Parthiv Shah. He's a data scientist and predictive economist. He owns two properties, dotcom that was born in 2006 and Dental Growth Machine that was born in 2023. So a brand new business and a mature business. And prior to the launch of those, he had another company called List Launchers that started in 2002, and he'll tell you more about that. Hello, and welcome to Hero Up, the podcast that inspires and challenges you to step up and become heroic in all areas of your life. I'm your host, Tony Stark Polici, and it's my goal to give you practical, actionable advice and insights into copywriting, mindset, lifestyle, and impact. On this show, we'll explore how to create compelling and persuasive marketing messages, and I'll give you clever tips to make you stand out as a hero. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a freelancer, a coach, or a creative, this podcast is for you. So, let's dive in. Hey, Parthiv, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you.
Got it, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
So for everyone who doesn't know, Parthiv and I met in 2015. I think it was the summer of 2015. And we met by happenstance because we both happened to be working for the same client. And we were on a conference call, and I said something that caught his attention. And he recognized that maybe I had some expertise in one area, and we became friends and worked on quite a few projects together. And he's a brilliant man, a brilliant business strategist. And you can find out more about him later on in the show, about his business. But today I want to talk about the stuff that nobody talks about. So Parthiv, thank you so much for being willing to step into that. Now, my first question is going to be very soft and easy. What got you started in business? I know that you used to be a salesman before you became an entrepreneur, and maybe you were always an entrepreneur. But what got you started in your own first business?
I came to America to start a business. So when I had a job, I always told my boss, someday I will start my own business and you will be my first client. So my job and my employer conditioned me to own and start a business. He knew that when I exit, I will start something based on what I learned from him, and he will financially support me when I leave. I call myself a serial entrepreneur. I'm no longer a serial entrepreneur because I have one thing that works. I'm no longer trying to figure out what will work for me. But it wasn't always like that. I was not a born successful, always successful with a silver spoon in my mouth. I mean, I started a dotcom venture that died and left me with everything gone in bankruptcy. And the only thing I had to my name was the house and the 401k. So I went back to my boss and say, hey, can I have my job back? And the first venture was a .com that was creating a national network of dry cleaners that would do dry cleaning, pickup and delivery, where the pickup and delivery will be done by seamstresses who would site to dry cleaners, but are largely homeless and they all drive. And they would offer, so it was your digital valet. The big data play on that was every shirt will have a garment identification number. We will see how many times the shirt is worn, how many times the shirt is washed, and every 15 shirt will sell them a coupon to replace the shirt and will get paid from the manufacturer. Sounds good in theory. I mean, I was impressed with the business plan. It worked. I liked it enough to quit my job, but I don't know anything about dry cleaning. So I bought a chain of dry cleaning. I had money. I bought 2 stores, not a chain, just 2 stores. Chain sounds better. That taught me that I don't know anything about humans. You shouldn't buy a store that is 14 miles away because you will not know that your employee is not here. When an irate customer calls and say, why the store is not open? And then you have 20-minute drive to rush and open the store. And so it was a mess.
Okay.
I went back. I worked for my employer. I worked for the college trying to get all the debt gone. And then I started List Launchers in 2002. So how did I get into List Launchers? Well, I killed a business. I have a dark corner in the heart. It was like in the business. A business died at my hand.
Hmm.
Now that I own a thing, but I own nothing, and I want to quit and start a new business. When I went back to my family, they were like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Well, what do we have to lose that we didn't lose last time? That worked. This will work." Went to the boss and say, "I want to quit my job again." Well, okay. What will you do? I'll do list research and data intelligence and build a database marketing company. Okay, that sounds like a good idea, but that's what you do. That's what you used to do for me until you decide to quit. I have two problems. Who's going to do that? If you quit, I say, I was hoping you will be my first client. So I just want to do what I'm doing for you, for a few other people. He's like, yeah, okay. So no paycheck, just freelance work for me, and then you can work with whomever you want. Yeah. And all the vendors that you're currently doing business with, I'll tell them that give me the same contract. And he's like, okay. Yeah, that'll work. If it doesn't work, you'll come back and you can work for me. I say, okay. Can you do me two favors? One, can I take my headset? That's the only thing I want to take. I have a laptop. Only thing I need besides the laptop is a headset. Can I take my headset? He's like, yeah. What else do you want? I say, I have a baby in the house. Would you cover my Cobra until I'm back on my feet because I don't have any money? Like, yeah, I'll do that. So my soon to be ex boss became my first client, and he kind of broke my fall. That's how I got started.
Wonderful. So a couple of the things that I picked up on there, which I think are your strengths. Some of your strengths are you are not afraid to ask for help. You're not afraid to ask for what you want, and you're very clear about what you want. Is that accurate?
Accurate, yes. If I want something, I can very clearly make an ask with shamelessly and say, this is what I want. If I'm being unreasonable, you will say no, and that's okay. If you're going to throw me out, do so without violence.
Just without violence. Yeah. So, right. Parthiv, have you always been that way, or is that a skill you developed?
I don't know. Nobody asked me that question before. Have I always been like that, or is that a skill I developed? It's a skill you can develop. I think it's a trait. You have to have a skin thick enough to say, if you're going to throw me out, bring two people. Because I ain't going without kicking and screaming and making a scene.
Yeah. In your family, was there a parental figure or another figure that modeled that kind of behavior for you?
Nope.
No?
Nope. I think I was in Air Force like that. I think I was in school like that. I want this. No. Well, that's your position now. What can be different so it is not a no? I think now that you're asking this to me, I'm like, I did that in middle school too.
See, I think this is a powerful lesson for folks because not everybody has that courageousness. Oftentimes, people are so afraid to ask for what they want; they don't want to step up and communicate. I've worked with a number of people in my career where I've suggested something to them, and they're like, "Oh, I could never ask for that," and it's like, "Well, but why? This is what you want. Why don't you ask for it?" So yeah, it was just interesting to me to find out whether or not that's something you had to develop as a result of going through hardship and the school of hard knocks in business, or if that was just a trait that you came into with. And it sounds like
I think it was a trait. I think it was a trait.
you start this business. You've got your former boss as one of your first clients. What kind of obstacles did you face building that business, bringing on new clients?
You know, when you touch somebody's data, right? It's like you're going into their bedroom while they're sleeping. People have to trust you at the deepest level to let you into their computers. because you see everything, good, bad, ugly. So unless I get ushered into a relationship, I don't have a prayer. Someone has to tell the world, Parthiv is right. Hire him. I have a solid brand, multi-decade old company. I've been doing the same thing over and over. 15 books. People are building tribes. I have a tribe of tribe builders that endorse me. The whole predatory marketing, parasitic marketing, it all came. I mean, it's natural to me. I'm not predatory and parasitic at the same time because in a host parasite relationship, you have to support your host, otherwise, you get removed, right? But the biggest challenge for any data scientist is in post 9/11, I look like a guy who caused a lot of damage to this country. Being
Hmm.
brown wasn't always cool. Today's America is different. Post 9/11, when I walked into, when I found Dan Kennedy in 2009, I was like the Indian, you know,
Significantly later
yeah,
than, yeah,
but,
9/11 for
but, but
sure.
still, I'm the only Indian. I don't do baseball. I don't do football. I don't do golf. I don't do basketball.
Cricket.
I don't do whiskey. I read. I speak English in a weird way, and nobody understands my math jokes. How do I socialize? How do I be friends? Why would you open up to me? I mean, why would you if you can't trust me to how do I look? How do I belong?
Right.
But then I say, wait, here I'm trying to belong and everyone's trying to differentiate. Differentiation comes naturally. I'm just going to go with what I get. I just have to make a handful of people say that this weirdly interesting guy is very useful. So his distinct social weaknesses that you can't have a fun conversation. Now you can, but this baloney has to do with anything in a business conversation. What is that? What does that baloney mean? See, I understand English, but not American slang language. That established trust, built a bonding and rapport. How do you bond? How do you build a rapport if you don't know the American culture? And
Right.
how do you learn culture? So I had to get inside the home and office of an American family and observe them in their native environment. So I watch Flintstones
Oh, really? Okay.
and Jetsons because that is the only place where normal American everyday vocabulary is used in television because the props are dramatic.
That's brilliant.
Till today, I wrote 15 books, but the first business card I had, I mean, one day I told someone, I mean, I was kind of it was depressing. I have a booth, I have 6 brochures, and I said, the only thing I have that doesn't have a typo is my business card. And the guy says, not true. I'm like, really? He says, yeah, you spell your name on the business card wrong.
Oh my goodness.
So, eh, my English isn't my friend. My math is better than my English. But you know what, Tony? My math is better than your English.
Hmm.
And when you need math, you need math. You don't need English.
Right.
And deals are made of math and data. Language and art can only do foreplay and afterplay.
That's a great
Even,
analogy.
I
Yeah.
mean, even Eugene Schwartz talks about this in his book,
Breakthrough advertising.
Breakthrough Advertising. Breakthrough Advertising is a book about data for copywriters. It's a book about data. It's a book about data.
Sure.
Over deliver. It's a book about data. I mean, the guy who owns the largest tribe of writers, one of the largest tribes of writers, Titans, he's a guy. He's a guy. He's like me. He's- so I found that I have something that's cool that most people don't know. Most people can't comprehend. Most people, I have something that is necessary for success that most people don't have. I don't have to be cool. I just have to be powerful.
So you mentioned that initially it was difficult getting into places because of the cultural barriers, the fact that you were brown. It was shortly after 9/11. So did you leverage relationships that you already had to get those people to introduce you to others for your initial first clients?
Well, most Americans in business context are race blind, age blind, and gender blind most of the time.
Most of the time, yes.
So business decisions are made race, gender, ethnicity, religion agnostic. When you go for cardiology, you want to know what time you'll be seen. You don't look at the age, gender, or ethnicity of the doc. When you go to a swimming lesson for your daughter, you look at the coach's ability to train your daughter, not their age, gender, or it's at the end of the day, your personal preferences of who you would rather do businesses don't matter. You're not taking me home. We're not going on a date. We're not going to get married. I am going to work on your business. You don't have to like me. Oh, I'm a likable person. I use humor. I am brilliant at it. But you don't have to like me, but your business like me.
In order to be liked, you demonstrate effectiveness and results.
Hmm. Well, you can't until they let you in.
Mm-hmm.
On See, when you're dismissed before you are understood, everything you know is irrelevant. All your powers are useless until you're engaged.
Right.
Until I'm actually get to work on you, I don't have results. And past performance is no guarantee of
Future
success.
success. Yes.
So believability comes from you being genuine. So we have one core value that I have always stayed with. Speak the truth no matter what the consequence. You cannot fake sincerity. You can fake to care, but you can't fake to show up. When you sincerely, genuinely, from the bottom of your heart, care about somebody, your act, your behavior, your interaction will tell them that I should pay attention to this guy because he actually cares. And most people don't. You don't
So true.
see, I'm not a salesman. I'm not a pitch and close guy. Yes, I make an overt ask. But if you look at train salespeople to be like me, I'm not Sandler or Dan Locke or high ticket closer, or I don't close. I open. I engage. I'll, I just do what I do. A large chunk of people will not like me for who I am. And the hell with them.
It's a great attitude. Yeah. You can't serve everybody. And if you try, you'll wind up frustrated.
Yep.
So I want to take you back to um, something that you talked about. You talked about a great national tragedy here in America, something that many people and businesses look back and as a like a stick or a yeah, a stick pin in the journey of their life, their business, which is 9/11. Very difficult time. What other difficult times have you come into in business? Let's talk about what happened in April 2020. Like, what
Hmm.
happened to your business back then?
You know, interesting you bring up 9/11. We, as old business owners like you and I are old. I am 56, you were 56. Um, we have seen a lot of international and national adverse economic events that had global consequences. Frankly, America has gone through so many of them in our lifetime that the whole thing feels like one big ailment. That there isn't anything acute. The whole damn thing is chronic.
Hmm.
Dot-com bust, 9/11, Afghanistan war, Iraq war, mortgage meltdown, COVID, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. I mean, we never had peace. We just had ceasefire. We had pockets of we are no longer fighting. So we became battle hardened soldiers of disastrous economics. So we had a blueprint for surviving and thriving during that days. So you talk about COVID, April 20th, April 2020, March 2020, I made $87,000. I lost almost all my monthly revenue in 2.5 days in April. May, I had 16,000 a month coming in. I own an agency. We have monthly recurring revenue. That's our business model. We get X upfront and Y a month. And we have a bank of clients who pay us X, Y dollars a month. I've got 14 people. I'm scared. My wife is scared. Family is scared. My staff is scared. Their family is scared. What will happen? What are we going to do? Should go look for a job. Who's going to hire you? If I don't have money, who the hell is going to give you money?
Right.
So here's what I say to my team. Nobody's getting fired. Nobody's getting laid off. Nobody's getting their hours cut. Nobody's getting their hourly rate cut. No vendor is getting paid late and no vendor is getting paid less. This one is on me. Hide behind me. I will replace all the revenue. I'm okay sleeping every 72 hours. I declare war on COVID. We are going to get on the runway and wait for sunlight. We don't know if this is going to last a day, week, month, year, but I got some cash reserves. I got some credit cards that I can max out. By the time I have to shut down, we would be dealing with a different America. COVID didn't happen to e-launchers. COVID happened to everyone. That gave me my team and their full confidence and their respect and their love. Because if they cannot depend on me on a doomsday, why bother?
Mhm.
But everyone who's telling me that they can't afford to pay me next month, I said, that's okay. Can I still continue to work for you? Whatever you don't pay, I'll write it off. I don't know if this is going to last a month or 3 months or 6 months. But since we both are in COVID jail, let's do some push ups together. Because when there is sunlight on runway, I want you to be the first plane on the runway. What I did for e-launchers, I did for some of my clients. Not only that gave them That's when clients became friends and friends became family. Because every vendor was behaving either enforcing the contract or the true colors of everyone was shown.
Right.
Okay, we'll suspend billing, we'll suspend work. Yeah. Post COVID, when they all recovered, I didn't want to pay. So we recovered. And then I called Kennedy. Okay, this happened. Russell Martino, my chief copywriter, and Kennedy and I, we all got on phone. I say, this is my position. This is where we are. Make it ring. And they wrote this letter that began generating revenue. But I was on phone calls several hours a day. Post COVID, I must have made at least 2,500 phone calls. But we stopped losing money in August. We actually closed 2020 profitably. Profit, profitably. I used to sell funnels. I started giving them away. People who took my free funnels hired me. You know, Tony, there is always work. There is no shortage of work. There is an acute shortage of competent people who actually genuinely care and will show up and do the work on time, on scope, on budget. If you can be that guy that can be as dependable as an American ambulance or American fire truck, ambulance will have competent paramedics. American fire truck will not run out of water and it will put out fire. American firemen will run towards fire. It's like when you can be as dependent as them, nothing hurts, nothing kills you. If there was next COVID, if there was next nuclear war, if there was next fill in the blank that's going to hurt all Americans, all worldwide, all businesses worldwide, I know one thing. It will hurt me less than it will hurt everybody else.
And why is that?
There are three things I have. Maneuverability, experience of fighting for survival and winning, and a healthy relationship with cash. The whole thing that I pulled off in April 2020, where whole team stay with me. Nobody's getting laid off, nobody's getting fired, nobody's getting right. I did that because I had $172,000 in cash reserves and $400,000 worth of credit card ability to swipe before I die. Not a lot of money by a lot of people. Enough for me. So, courage, being ability to risk it all, knowing that I can take it back. But more important, have cash reserved so I can breathe normally.
Super important. Absolutely. Yes.
So when you are doing well, when business is good, you want to take money out of the business. Pay taxes. Pay down debt and sit on piles of cash. Right? Cash reserve makes you a fearless businessman because your cash is your power. You know how, I mean, look, you do the muscle thing, right?
Sure.
For your business, that's cash.
Absolutely. That's great. A lot of wisdom in what you just shared there. I hope everybody's paying attention. The last couple things that I want to ask you are a little more personal. So we talk an awful lot about our successes and strengths. Where is there one area in your life where you've fallen down or that you've really struggled to make progress in? Something that has reoccurred for you that um, you have maybe conquered, maybe not conquered, but something that you really, really was a pain for you.
Wow. Tony, you understand addiction, right? Drug addiction
Absolutely.
and
Yep.
alcohol.
Personal experience.
Like drug addiction and alcohol addiction, work addiction is real. Unlike a drug and alcohol addiction, work addiction has social acceptance and social encouragement.
Right.
Nobody's going to say, Parthiv can drink 14 shots or Parthiv can do this much drugs. Kudos to him. Parthiv, the go-getter. He answered your call in the middle of the night. You can call him on Sunday. He's always working, as if it's a good thing. But in reality, it's not. You cannot falter a businessman for working tirelessly and endlessly when he's trying to make ends meet. But when ends are met and you don't know how to stop, and when someone says, what do you do for fun? You have an unimpressive answer. You're an addict. You're a work addict. And you can't, nobody will tell you that you're a work addict. Your wife wouldn't tell you. Because your kid wouldn't tell you. Nobody will tell you that. You are cooked like a crab, slow cooked. You don't even know when you died. There is a detox. So I think I am no longer a work addict. I went through a program called Strategic Coach by Dan Sullivan. And year one, quarter one, literally the first thing they give you is a entrepreneur's time management system. 3 days,
Focus days,
buffer
buffer
days,
days.
focus days. Focus days is dedicated to income producing activities. 3 days are rejuvenation of mind, body, and soul. And buffer days keep 3 days free, focus days focused. If you don't have your time isolated into free, focus, and buffer, your whole life is buffer. One day you will die and people will not know what killed you, but
Mm-hmm.
that killed you. Today, I stop working at a reasonable time. I don't start working until a reasonable time. You got to go to meetparthiv.com to book an appointment. You cannot randomly call my cell. There are dedicated time slots where I will take an appointment. If you need me outside that appointment, you will wait until the day that that slot's available. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being jerk. I'm being kind to myself. But when you do book an appointment, I will be prepared. You will have my undivided attention. Phone will not ring. Nobody will bother me. And I can shut myself away from everything and do focused, deep work just with you. My wife bought me knives. I cut vegetables. I clean kitchen. I don't cook. I can't cook. But me being next to her gives her more free time. We're just watching TV. We're watching a dumbass Indian show. Neither one of us are working. We are playing. So good life now. But it wasn't always like that. I always worked and worked and worked and worked to a point where my son says, I don't want to grow up to have your life because I want to stop working at a decent time.
Mm.
He likes my today's life, but he didn't like my life as he was growing up. Things I missed in his life, I can't replace.
Right. Yep.
You know his Eagle Scout picture where he's standing with the eagle and the
Yes.
badge?
Yes.
It's him and Deepa because I was on a trip.
Business trip. Yeah.
Him getting eagle is a big thing.
Sure is.
I get on a plane twice a month. Don't get that 1 month. If that's not addiction, Tony, what is? It felt like we were broke in a year. So guilty as charged.
Certainly not something that you're alone in. And you said it perfectly at the onset. The thing about work addiction is it's praised, right? It's applauded. And it's unfortunate because while you have been fortunate enough to make corrections and keep your family together, I know many people have not had that experience because they allowed their work addiction to destroy everything. They have, I mean, you said this. Their kids grow up, don't know them. There's no memories. There's no connection, and they
You
put
know what ends work addiction for most people?
what
Death, heart
death.
attack,
Yes,
stroke, divorce, something violent happening to them, accident.
that's what
They
happens to
stay
most
on the table.
addictions. Yeah, most people
Yeah.
don't face their addictions until they encounter some kind of horrible bottom, horrible life-changing event. Yeah,
Yeah. So for me, it was just writing a check to Dan Sullivan. That nothing horrible happened to me. I do end my. You think why I'm so grateful to Sullivan?
yes, for sure. But what got you to that point where you were like, shit, man, there's something I got to deal with this. Like, was
Oh, it wasn't this. This was a pleasant byproduct of me hiring Sullivan.
so did you know
Going to
going into
Sullivan.
it that you had
No,
a
I had no
okay,
idea that this is what. No. What got me into Sullivan was a data science exercise. So I spent 4 years. Yeah, last year was the year four. 3 years. This is 24. 2017 or 2018, I'm doing some math. I do this math about once a quarter. Most people don't do it once a year. You go to your QuickBooks, run a report called customer revenue, a revenue by customer summary. That's the name of the report. Revenue by customer summary. Hmm? It gives you one report, name of the client, how much you made, and then you can time it. Last 12 months, last 36 months, lifetime, and then you export them in Excel, sort by the number, and you know who pays you the most last year. You compare this year to last year to see who paid you last year, who is paying this year, who's not paying this year. It's just common sense math.
okay,
Nobody does. CPAs don't do it. Business owners don't do it. Nobody does. Salespeople don't do it. I lived out of accounting report. And anyway,
I don't do it. Yeah, I don't do it. So I know.
so okay. So back then, I remember the numbers actually. My lifetime revenue was $6 million at that. This was about, right now I'm at 9 point, so about $4 million ago. Okay.
Okay,
$6 million lifetime revenue. Okay. Out of 6 million, how many people gave me 1 million? Because 1 million is a big number. 1 is a big number to me right now. 10
sure.
million in revenue, right? It's a lot of money to almost everyone in America, except like handful of people who make million a month or million a day. Even people who make million a month, million is a big number. So when you ask someone how many people gave you $1 million last year, or $1 million in lifetime revenue, the answer was three. I'm like, okay, nice. How many people gave me half of my lifetime revenue? $3 million. 36. How many people total on my list of clients? Back then, 680. 36 out of 618 gave me half of my lifetime revenue. 3 gave me 1 million. How much did my top 25 give me out of my 6 million? 2.5 million. Okay. So I know where the kitchen is. All right. What's common in them? 24 out of 25 came from Kennedy. I always have worked in Kennedy. That was given. 22 out of 25 were either ex strategic coach or current strategic coach. So people who had gone through strategic coach and went through Kennedy's training, that people in that Venn diagram who were Kennedy and Sullivan trained, they would beeline to me, near zero friction of trust building, near zero friction of accepting me as the right choice, in near zero price sensitivity. Like they are like, it was like a arranged marriage. When I realized that, I was Kennedy's private client at that time. Kennedy says, so what have you done to market to Sullivan's people? I'm like, until I did this, man, I didn't even know this was a thing. There is something in his content that draws people to me. So I decided I said, I got to go and experience this for myself. What makes me valuable to Sullivan's people? I didn't go there to sell to Sullivan's people. I truly, genuinely went there to learn parallels between what he is teaching and what I am doing. And I found one piece of content that was my connecting point. And it's a very big deal in Sullivan's land. It's who, not how. You see, I'm the who, so you don't have to how.
Mm.
And marketing automation and mathematics and complex technology is complicated, difficult. I'm an integrator. So every visionary is trying to connect themselves to an integrator. So I went there to find the logic of business. Me discovering that I am an addict with severe toxicity was just I paid for this. I'm going to learn. I found a problem in me, so I'm going to fix. So it was an accidental discovery. I'm grateful to him for it, but I didn't go to him with that being a pre-diagnosed problem.
Yes, that's a brilliant story. I love that. And you know, it's really funny is because my story of recovery and addiction, there's a similar thing. I took a look at my own addiction by going to, I put my girlfriend at the time into rehab. And 4 nights a week, family members were supposed to come to rehab to learn. As I'm sitting in these classes, I started going, holy crap, that's me. Holy crap, that's me. So, and here's the funniest part. I went on to recover. She did not. But you know, so yeah, and I think that's a key element of addiction. For those of you that are listening and you think, well, I'm not an addict, one of the biggest and most powerful symptoms of being any kind of an addict is denial. You absolutely have no clue that you're in it. So if somebody is pointing it out to you, you know, maybe take a look. There's a
Now,
great saying
you will deny for sure.
for sure. Yeah.
The only reason I was looking at myself in because I'm in a judgment-free zone. I'm in strategic coach class. You paid so much money for it. Everyone around you is friendly, willing to be friends. And when you have a problem, they all jump in and want to solve it. And then you go home. It's a gym for your body. Sorry, it's a gym for your brain. So only in a setting like that, you are empowered to let go your denial.
That's great. Okay, so I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
Um, you don't have to answer them both, but uh, if you have answers for them, then I would love to hear them. So number one, this show is about helping people not only with their business but dealing with obstacles. So the first question I have for you is for anyone who's in business right now, what would you say is the most important thing to pay attention to as a business owner, whether you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, small business owner running a multi-million dollar business?
In one word, peace. An entrepreneurial peace. Because peace is necessary for prosperity. You show me a man who is not at peace, I'll show you the man who is chasing peace and not prosperity. You always gravitate to the one part of your body that aches. And peace is a totality of pain relief for your body, your family, and your business. You need to have a healthy relationship with your body, your mind, your soul, your wife, your children, your parents, her parents, your staff, their spouses, their children, their parents, their grandparents, your clients, their staff, their families, your prospects, their clients, their prospects. You must be at peace with all the humans that matter to you. You must be at peace with your business checkbook, your business savings account, your business cash reserves, your business debt, your personal checkbook, your personal savings account, your retirement account. You don't have to be comfortable. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to be even solvent, but you have to be content. You have to know where you are and you need to be okay with where you are. You don't have to be satisfied with where you are, but you must be satisfied with your problem. When you are at peace with your mind, body, soul, money, checkbook, personal finance, personal relationships, and business relationships, and when you are truly free of all battles where nobody's attacking you and no one, and you are not attacking anyone, those are the days where you can chase prosperity. What is the thing they call it? Life, liberty, and pursuit of
Happiness.
happiness. Right? You have to have life and you have to have liberty. Only then you can pursue happiness.
Mm,
So, any business owner, what matters more than your goals, ambitions, and aspirations is your definition of peace and your distance from peace.
that's great.
It's okay if you don't die a billionaire. It's okay if you're not an overnight success. It's okay if you don't get a patent. It's okay if you don't get your two comma club awards. It's okay. Are you okay?
Mm.
How are you doing? Can you look yourself in the mirror and smile? Do you like what you see? Because if you don't buy a new mirror. You need to buy makeup. So chill. If things are not working out, eventually it'll work out because everything works out in the end. So have some faith in yourself, have some faith in universe, have some faith in God, and keep working at it until it eventually works out for you.
Beautiful. I couldn't agree more. That's absolutely amazing. Wonderful advice. And the last question has to do with something that you mentioned a moment ago. You know, when you're gone, what do you hope your legacy will have been? And not hope, because I don't believe that you hope in things. I believe you take action. So, um, what is your legacy? What is the legacy you're leaving and the legacy you want?
Thank you for asking because I get on so many podcasts and nobody asks this question. And this is my favorite question. What do I want people to remember me by when I'm gone? Right? The trophies are there for my celebration. Nobody cares. I mean, I'm much away from the 2CCX, which is a much bigger trophy, $10 million trophy. Mine. Congratulations to me. What do you care? Right? The world will not remember me by how much I make. The world will remember me by how much I selflessly give. 2006 was the darkest time of my career. We'll get into it later, but for whatever reasons, '06 to '09 were trying times. And the local college president helped me get in front of some opportunities that gave me enough revenue so I survived and I didn't die. So '09 was the year. So e-launchers was started in '06. I started a company called List Launchers. I got bought out by an Indian multi-millionaire, Indian billionaire who bought me and six other companies and just chose not to pay us. And I had to start a new business from scratch in Maryland. I didn't know anybody. And when you don't know anybody, it's hard to get into the door and get the deep level of trust so you can work on their data. So that's a fast track story of my uh, the largest failure. We talked about all the calamities that happened to all of us, but when something that happens only to me, that's what my one fatally I was fatally attacked and I didn't die. So 3 years it took me to recover from that wound. And so I went to Dr. Pinkney, who helped me during my difficult times and say, hey, how can I return the favor? And he said, if you want to do something for me, do something for my students. And that's how my internship program started. I call it Learn to Earn. I have taken 291 students in the program. Everybody has a job and everybody is making money. And everybody is grateful that they spent 2 to 4 semesters with me. So today, I want to take my internship framework and give it away to everyone so they can have their own interns. I believe if you're making $300,000 or more in revenue, you should build an intern worthy business and take at least one intern. Not only you will make somebody's life, but it's going to cause you to reorganize your business so you are an intern worthy, intern ready company. There is nothing more ruthless than an 18-year-old girl asking you, Mr. Shah, why did you do that? And you have to give a respectable answer. Right? So today, I have a dream. I want to teach 10,000 kids. And kid is anyone who is willing to learn between the age of 20 and 150, who wants to learn to make money the way I make money. They have a respect for my system, my process, my method, and they want to bring a piece of Parthiv home. I don't need to get paid, but I want to make an impact in the lives of 10,000 people who would enrich their life by learning what I already know. I'm willing to share everything I have. I'm willing to share everything I know. And that would be my legacy. 10,000 people who will spend a moment to pay respect when I die. That is my grand funeral.
Well, that is amazing, Parthiv, because the number of lives that you touch with those 10,000 as they go out and impact the world, it just
Yeah.
multiplies. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So, wow, thank you so much. What a great time we spent together. I'm so grateful to you for the things that you shared and your transparency. And
Thanks.
yeah, I want to know. So, if if someone wants to find out more about what you do, how will they find you? And I'm going to put links and everything below this. But if you're watching, on YouTube or some other platform
Uh,
where you can see links, but how does somebody find out about you?
eh, there are two types of people on earth, dentist and non-dentist. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Dentist?
Yeah, I have the same thing. Two types of keep people on earth: copywriters and non-copywriters.
Yeah. If you're a dentist, go to dentalgrowthmachine.com. If you're non-dentist, go to elaunchers.com, ELAUNCHERS, elaunchers.com. And if you want to meet me, go to meetparthiv.com. MEET, meet, Parthiv, PARTHIV, meet Parthiv. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, business or personal.
Excellent. But you got to get on the schedule because he is not going to just take a random call.
Yeah, remember I said to just call 301. No, we're not going to get the phone number.
It's not there. All right. Well, Parthiv, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed talking with you as always. And you think you might want to come back? There's so much more you have to share.
I'll come back whenever you want me to, man. I enjoy our time together. You're a great interviewer. And the subject and the theme of the show is just magnificent.
Well, thank you. I sure hope it makes a difference and people love it. All right, folks. Well, till next time, thanks for tuning in to Hero Up. And I just want to give you another thank you, Parthiv, for being here. I really appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to Hero Up. I hope today's episode challenged you to step up as a hero in your field and provided you with valuable insights to express your unique voice and message. If you found this episode helpful and motivating, please leave a review and share it with your friends and family. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes and amazing guests. Until next time, find your voice, share your message, live your mission.